neighborhood, you could be eligible for up to $50,000 in funding through the City of Seattle's Neighborhood Matching Fund. Grants are awarded to grassroots projects that build stronger communities, with an emphasis on projects led by impacting Black, Indigenous, and people of color BIPOC communities. To learn more about the Neighborhood Matching Fund or to see if your project meets the criteria, visit seattle.gov/neighborhoods/NMF.
Hello, listener. What's important to you about what's going on in your community? Are you interested? Are you concerned? In any case, I invite you to tune into my show, Seattle Here and Now, on Rainier Avenue Radio App. Why? I will be covering a wide range of topics important to you and impacting the community. Each show will have a special guest or guests to share with you information on a variety of subjects that are happening here and now in Seattle. I promise I will work hard to make my show informative, interesting, and entertaining. Be sure to listen to Seattle Here and Now on Rainier Avenue Radio World.
Hello, I'm Tony Young, and every week I will be your guide to the music of the Fab Four with my show With the Beatles. John Lennon, Paul McCartney, George Harrison, and Ringo Starr, those four lads from Liverpool. First airings are Tuesday night from 7 to 9 p.m. with repeats on Thursdays and Saturdays from 8 to 10 a.m. right here on Rainier Avenue Radio. Tune in to catch Beatlemania.
Generational wealth. Generational wealth. Generational wealth. What is generational wealth? We asked our communities, and this is what they had to say.
Generational wealth to me means to provide and establish wealth for generations to come, whether it be through real estate or through other equitable funding, stocks, bonds, but first of all, I think that general wealth starts with securing property. And that's it.
This campaign to create awareness to generational wealth is brought to you by the Department of Neighborhood's Generational Wealth Initiative, the Washington Housing Finance Commission, and Rainier Avenue Radio World. Create your generational wealth for you and the future of your families.
This is Paul Pearson, host of Star Time. And when I'm not busy tearing the roof off the suckers, I'm listening to Rainier Avenue Radio World.
Oh, hi. Hi, everyone. This is Violeta Strash with Coldwell Banker Danforth, and I am here today, Tuesday, 2:30 p.m., every Tuesday, 2:30 p.m. with Real Estate and Money on Rainier Avenue Radio World. I am waiting for my co-host, Tina Lombard, to come on board, but this week, let me just get started. We're going to be talking about graduation. Again, part 2 of our graduation series. So we talked a little bit about it last week. Tina will come on board and talk a little bit more about programs that will benefit those college students that are finishing up and looking for their first time home. Different programs, government programs for that. And then I will also have information on those parents who are thinking about investing in some property while their kids are off to go to college. Now, I know that for the first year, a lot of colleges are anticipating that the freshmen will go into the housing program, the dormitory program, just so that they get acclimated to the school, the campus, network with students their age. So a lot of freshmen are encouraged to get into the dorm system and start school their first year there, and then move on to off-campus housing. There are, for example, my son went to high school, then went to University of Puget Sound, first year in the dorms, and then the second year, there's on-campus individual homes, like theme homes for the various schools that may be able to afford a house or have enough students in, like in his case, a baseball program that went into a home. And so that was on-campus housing. And then years 3 and 4, he was off campus in a house that he rented with 5 other baseball players. So there are, the options of going into a fraternity into the fraternity system, or going into a home situation. So parents that can afford it, are thinking about it, looking for an investment, can buy a home around the campus to house their sons, daughters, and their friends in a, say, a 3-4 bedroom house, which would be ideal. And why would they? Let's start there. Let's look at the options for parents that want to buy around a housing, around the campus, and looking for housing for their student. So that proximity to campus is always a big thing. You want to be somewhere within walking distance, if you could, if your child doesn't have their own car, let's say, make sure that it's close enough where they can walk, or have public transportation available that would be easy to get to and from campus, because chances are, if they're usually if you're an athlete, you probably have your own car because you have gear to bring. You don't want to take that on and off the bus, right? Daniel, is Tina on yet? I was just wondering if she's going to join us today. Anyway, she's not here yet, so I will continue on. So let's talk about, that public transportation. You probably want to be accessible to the metro or the light rail. Nowadays, there's people that travel on light rail, students too. See a lot of people doing that. And then we take a look at the safety and security of off-campus housing. And we're looking at neighborhoods with low crime rates, of course, and consider properties with security features such as alarm systems, outdoor lighting, and secure locks to get in and out of the building. Parking, because, on campus, you're competing with visitors, other parents, other students that are there maybe just for the day, or students with housing on campus. There's not going to be a lot of parking on campus for overflow. But so you're going to want to look at in the neighborhood, is there ample parking off street, garages, or a driveway, what have you, for the students to bring their cars, the other friends' cars on site. And then the rental potential for you parents who could afford a investment property like off-campus housing. The rental potential, you have your son or daughter in a room. There's 5 other bedrooms there. My son was in a home where each kid paid $600 a month, and then they paid utilities on top of that. I don't believe utilities was included. So that their landlord was bringing in, 6 times 600, $3,600 a month. times I don't know how many houses she had around campus, quite a few, but there's a lot of money to be had if you get house completely filled with college students. And then consider the condition of the property. Make sure that you always have it maintained so it's looking nice. It shows really well from the outside. So any parents that are looking for off-campus housing, see those parents that have their kid in a dorm, in the dorm system, 1 year, you get to look around campus, look around at potential areas where they could live, maybe minutes away, even half an hour away by bus from campus. But take a look and see what the property conditions are of those houses, the neighborhood where you're going to have your kids stay and other kids stay. So you want to make sure that these well-maintained properties are ones that command higher rental values. So, it's a potential for great rental income in those areas. Amenities and services. So you want to be by a grocery store because they're always making a midnight run for this and that and the other thing. And then close to event spaces, like in his case, the Tacoma Dome is nearby. There's theaters and shopping and restaurants and delis in the Proctor area of Tacoma, where University of Puget Sound is. And so we want to make sure that they're close to parks where they can hang out and do all kinds of activities and join in the community events as well. And then for more off-campus housing, future development plans, for instance, at the University of Washington, they've secured or purchased, the school has purchased homes around the campus and projected to buy more land to increase their off-campus, or maybe enclose it to make it more on-campus housing and have more of these taken down to put more buildings for activities or more classes. So that's something in the future that might happen in the colleges, around the colleges that you're looking at. And then the school district, the other schools that feed into that college, private schools, public high schools, technical colleges, anybody that, the school district around campus is of interest as well. And then, of course, the resale value of those homes, quite important. If once your child is done, you have no plans on having him or her stay in the area, or they want to move somewhere else, or everybody's moving somewhere else, or maybe you're from out of town and you bought a property for off-campus housing. And so the resale for you is important if you're going to go back to, say, Denver, where you're from, or Phoenix, what have you. Anyway, so that's what I have to say about off-campus housing in the area. Now, I want to show again Daniel, if you can bring up the PowerPoint from last week. I want to show some of these homes that are available around the University of Washington. And like the top, let me see, the top one there is a condo. It's an older building, but they renovated it and made nice little studios out of it. And you can see there's the living room it's a studio apartment. So it got converted into a bedroom simply by putting in a Murphy bed. So that bed just folds up and it can be whatever you want it to be, just shelving units on the other side or desk on the other side. I've seen that. Or just completes a room to make it back into a living room during the day. And then a small kitchen with all the appliances that you could possibly need, with a little eating space and a bathroom, of course. So that's a typical studio. And that one in the University District was listed at $260,000. Studio, one bathroom, small. 350 square feet. Then let's go to the next one, Daniel. Let's see where this one is. And I believe this is also in the U District for $299,000. It's a 1-bedroom, 1-bath. So an individual bedroom, not a studio. And look how nice this is laid out. The bathroom, you have 1 bathroom, then you have a nice size bedroom, and then the living room is good enough to bring some friends over for study or for dinners and stuff like that. The next house, Daniel. Okay, here's a condo. And again, this one is a 2-bedroom, 1 bath. And it's in the Fremont area of Seattle. Pretty close, so you're looking at transportation options for this place to get to and from school. But Fremont's a pretty vibrant area, a lot of activities going on there. This house, this condo is selling for $449,000. Again, 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 661 square feet. And then the last one that I brought in is an actual house, little house in the Green Lake area. Great area. You can run around the lake a little over 2 miles around. So this is a 2-bedroom, 1 bathroom, 740 square feet home, and it is listed at $799,000 right now. Prime real estate, Green Lake. So there you have it. Those are the 4 homes I brought in for the University of Washington area. And then we're going to look at, let's go on a little break, but I want to talk about what you do. You're a college student, you're done. And in my case, I have a post PhD student wrapping up, just graduated last weekend. Actually, the ceremonies was last weekend. Graduation for him was a dissertation that was back in November, but now he's considering where to move to. Doesn't want to stay in North Carolina. Duke is a little different than being out here in the Pacific Northwest. So we'll talk about options for him in buying a home as a first-time home buyer and postdoctorate. Okay, let's go on a little break, Daniel. Thanks. Okay, welcome back, everyone. Again, I'm Violeta Strash with Coldwell Banker Danforth, and looks like it might be just me today. I don't know, but I think Daniel's going to try to get a hold of Tina, our friend Tina. So why would you, as a PhD student, you know, we've been a poor college student for a few years, want to get into a home or a condo right after you finish your education? Well, a few things. One, one, for my son, for example, I want to stay in the area. He'd like to come back here, but cost of housing here in Washington State, kind of out of his price range. So he's looking at, first of all, it's more important that you find the job. So when you find the job that you're going to go to, make a career at, then take a look at and see before you move out there. One of the things to consider is where you would move to. Is it going to be a rental? Hopefully not, because now's the time to build a plan for your future. You're going to get into a home or a condo that you can purchase and start building equity right away. And they have programs out there right now, and Tina can speak better to this, about various programs for college students, because while you're in college, you're also working. They'll take your first 2 years or your last 2 years of income and consider that when you're applying for a loan. There are first-time home buyer programs for you out there. If you are in the healthcare profession, which he is going to be, there are also programs for healthcare workers, nurse, doctors, psychologists, what have you, in that field. You can get special consideration too. So one, you get consideration as having worked while you were in college. And then two, you get consideration with the type of profession you're going into. And in one case, it would be the healthcare workers or first responders, I think it's called. So you're going to build equity right away, and real estate appreciates. Doesn't matter. It'll typically appreciate in value. It could be slow, and right now it's kind of slow, but it happens. Property's not going to depreciate through the years. It'll simply keep going up. And then you have fixed housing costs, so you know what you're going to pay for a mortgage each and every month. And while you are take a look at also utilities that you would have to pay in those areas, whether the condo, in a lot of cases, there's HOA dues, which covers the cost of some of the utilities. And then you get to know, maybe you rent a year and you check out stuff like this, like what are the utilities, what are the amenities around you. Take a look. If you're new to town, you're done with college and you're going to find your job here, wherever it is, San Francisco, Ann Arbor, Michigan. There are areas of town that you would probably want to consider over others, and you will maybe spend a little bit of time researching that before finding the right location for you to move to. And then what else? Tax benefits, of course. Mortgage interest and property taxes may be deductible on federal and state taxes. And then the stability of having a home. Whether you're a new homeowner, say you've been renting and you're going to be a first-time home buyer, you want a home where you might have a fenced yard for your pets. And if you're going to have children really soon, getting married, having children really soon, you have a secure area for your kids to play at. And be assured that they're going to be safe. And then also the sense of community. When you go to a neighborhood, you want to make sure that people know who you are, and that there's a neighborhood watch. That's kind of nice to have, that if you're on the batter a lot, you get to know some of your neighbors, and they make sure they look after your place. If you go away on vacation to visit your parents on the other side of the country, or just away for the long weekend because you deserve it. You've been working hard. You didn't take a break between college and going to your first job. And you're looking at long-term planning. And you just want to make sure you're investing in your future. That's what it is. And you can, as long as you keep going, you can keep building equity, build equity year after year, and then all of a sudden, boom, you're going to be ready to invest in another house. So what you should do is not sell the house that you're in, and if you could, buy another home to move to and rent the one that you're leaving. So that would be building your real estate wealth. And that's kind of awesome if you're young and you can afford to do that and you're making money. Sure, get your toys, but think about the future for you, your future wife, your kids, and everyone else. And chances are, grandparents will come move by you if you have those little kidlets for them to want to see all the time. And so the type of programs for postdoctorate students, again, FHA loans, the best by the Federal Housing Authority, that these homes offer low down payment options or no down payment assistance, and as low as 3.5% down, which is pretty easy for you to do if you are getting some kind of a loan. I think Tina's trying to get on. Can you add her to this?
Hello.
There
Can you hear
go.
me?
Okay, Tina, I've been
hear me
all along. I don't know if I've said anything good, but anyway, thanks for joining us, Tina Lombard. Can you hear me? Or isn't she on, Daniel? Oh, she can't hear. I can't hear you either, but I see you. And I can hear clicking. So what do you have there? Is she on, Daniel? Well, start talking if you can hear me. Oh, I can hear wrestling, so I might be able to hear you. Start talking, Tina. Tina. Oh boy. I can hear your computer. Can you not hear me? Can you hear me, Tina? No? I'm going to...
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah, there I am. My gosh, I'm so sorry. I got a new computer.
Oh, no. Come back. Oh, there you are.
Gosh.
Okay. Talk. I started to talk about the different programs, Tina, for available for postdoctorate students. And I started in with the federal programs like the FHA loans. And if you went to school and went through the ROTC program, going into the military, there are loans for you, right, Tina? Can they get VA loans?
Okay.
Okay, VA loans, I was saying for students, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. So for students and stuff, VA loans are very good. I mean, you've got to actually have 6 months worth of being at least in boot camp if you're going to get a VA loan. But they are, so a lot of people who are not so much the students, but their parents may have been veterans. And so you can also use a VA loan to get some investment properties.
What about the ROTC programs at colleges? Does that give them some kind of credit?
I'm not quite sure with VA. I know you have to have basic training for at least 6 months.
Okay.
So yeah. But yeah.
And what about state and local programs for college, postdoctorate or post-college students?
Yeah, so there are programs. Yeah, there are doctor programs out there, and the doctor programs are basically called either a doctor loan program or a physician's program. But basically, if you are a student that just graduated in medicine and you're going to be a doctor, there are some doctoral programs out there. A lot of them have no down payment. A lot of them don't have any mortgage insurance, which is really, really nice. And a lot of them don't look at your student loans. So if you are graduating in any type of doctorate program as far as medical and that sort of thing, please do talk to me or talk to your lender about getting a doctor's loan. And like Violeta was saying earlier, a lot of times if you have been in college, that represents employment. So college takes the place of employment. Mm-hmm.
And first responder programs, right?
Yes, there are first responder programs if you're either a fire, police, ambulance, nurse, or something like that. It actually came out of the 911 incident, and a lot of the first responders had to get homes. So if you are a first responder, there are some loans out there where they've got smaller down payments, they've got better interest rates, and there are all different types of programs as far as getting your closing costs paid for if you are a first responder. Mm-hmm.
And guess what? Time's up.
Time's up. Okay. Fun.
So next week, I just want to prep everyone that we're going to talk about or pay some homage to our Asian Pacific Islander month, the Heritage Month for those people in that community. So with that, I want to say goodbye. Thank you for joining us today on Real Estate and Money. I'm Violeta Strash, Coldwell Banker Danforth.
Lombard with Novus Home Mortgage. See you next time.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.